Hello, everybody. My name's Kev. That is not Sai. That is Sai. This is the All the Pies podcast. And yes, as you can see, we're joined with Sai from the I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here! Jungle. So yeah, we're lucky to have Sai. Is he going to be any crack? Let's find out.
God, he scored so many goals.
Oh, yes.
I'm better than you by the looks of it.
Yeah, I'm full of morphine. What's the other one? Just tramadol, codeine, diazepam, and pregabalin.
That is quite the cocktail.
And I've got will it reach? This is going to be some viewing if it does.
What are you showing me here, Simon? Oh.
The piss bag. It's a piss bag.
It's lovely, Simon. So you're doing all right then? You're doing fine, yeah?
Yeah, I'm off me tits.
You're in good health.
I'm off me tits. I'm in the jungle. Yeah, I've been poorly. As everyone should know, I'm a little disabled boy, and my disabilities crept up. So I had MRIs and all this shit yesterday to find out the results, and the results came back in, and unfortunately, I'm a big fat spod.
Well, that was a lovely little story there, Simon.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back, in anyways, because I know you didn't make the last one, and the last one was great.
Vaping again.
Oh, that's good for you. That's good for you. Me as well. I mean, should I have a vape? Should I have a vape video? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, you weren't on the last one. I was.
Yeah.
Just nobody got to see it.
No, they didn't. Did they?
We did it. We had the fantastic Mark on again from Canada. So kindly took the time out of his day to come on and do a review of the Leeds, and I'm fucking foaming that I didn't record it properly. So we're sat and it was a mint video, some really good talking points, really got into it. Went to upload it, just couldn't find it, didn't record properly. That's what happens when you leave me in charge. And I've got technology things. It'll be no surprise to you, Si, that story, will it?
No, you're a knacker, a pure what's the word? A Luddite. It means somebody who a Luddite, somebody who has no grasp of technology and how to use it and utilize technology.
A Luddite.
A Luddite. That's what you are.
You've expanded my vocabulary. Well, seems like a bit of a rhetorical question, but are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
I've always wanted to do that. Yeah, I can add that bit again in the future.
We'll see.
I think before we go straight into the Brighton game, because of my technological disasters, we may as well quickly touch on the Leeds game. Did you get to see it? Were you live?
I was.
Complis mentis?
I was. That was when I was starting to feel ill. Yeah, I watched this. Disappointing. Defensive errors. Sean Longstaff missing, as we keep saying. Really did seem to lose that midfield battle. Leeds were well up for it, pumped under Allardyce. Yeah, but then we got back into it. We got the goals, and we'll let a 2-1 lead. What are you laughing at?
Just you.
That sounds like a smackhead.
You sound like a smackhead, and you look like an ogre. Sorry, I'll try not to laugh at you again.
It's fair, not laugh away, mate. I'd laugh at you. I'd be terrible to you if you were in this condition. You know, I would. I'd be awful to you. I'd be ripping you. I'd be at your house mocking you.
Trying to give us a drink.
Yeah, I would. I'd bring you Lucozade though, because that's I always believe in giving poorly people Lucozade and grapes. But yeah, I think yeah, the pressure got to her, and Leeds just in the second half probably deserved a point from it, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I had similar feelings to you. I was frustrated. I mean, don't get us wrong. At the stage where Bamford's stepping up to take a penalty, if somebody said to me, "Would you take 2-2 now?" I'd be like, "Yep,
Exactly.
100%." Before we kick that ball, but that's not the way it played out. When he missed that penalty, and then we go down the other end, and Isaac gets absolutely cleaned out. And Callum Wilson pops that away, and you're going at 1-1. You think to yourself, "Oh, actually, we've been let off the hook a little bit there." Coming out the second half and getting that second penalty, and you're 2-1 up, you're fully expecting for to go on and win that, especially when St. Maxi nearly made it 3, didn't he? Isaac marginally offside. And it felt like we just needed, it did feel like we needed a third goal. And as it happened, we did. But that's not the main talking point, I think, to come out of that game. There was lots of talking points. But what about Owl Heed the ball? Trying to get it Eddie Howe on
I know.
the
I'm surprised.
touchline.
Surprised Tyndall wasn't there first. Mad Dog to Brain.
Aye,
I
well,
like how Eddie Howe didn't look phased either, did he?
Wasn't bothered, was he? He was like, "Oh, you Dean."
He
He didn't
didn't
realise
look-
they had didn't realise we had Triple H on the bench neither. Did you see?
No. Saw him jump
He
straight
rose
up.
off the bench. This just massive guy with a beard. I was like,
Yeah.
Triple H is there. He's gonna sort it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, fucking. But Eddie Howe didn't look bothered. Well, no, that needs to be fucking addressed in the Premier League era, like with all the money that's in it. I think we said this one of the last videos. I mentioned the security staff, especially St James's, and I imagine it's the same across the board. Just underpaid people who aren't, you know what I mean? Who are just like maybe students, maybe I don't know, but they're just not. They're not like trained security. The Premier League should really use some of that wealth to invest in making sure
Jason
there's proper, at least for like the touchline, the players and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it is worrying because, I mean, at the time you're like, "Who's this? I get him out of the way." But it's true, he could have had anything, you know, if he was, if that's how easy it is, you know. And somebody who is a bit of even more of a nut, I'll be looking at that and going, "Oh, how easy that is."
Yeah. Or any extremists that want to get on TV with their points and to prove whether it's political or whether it's religious or whether it's fucking whatever. It's just not a good security look for in this day and age. Like, but luckily Eddie Howe didn't even flinch.
Well, it was 2-2. That's how it ended. It's
I think Nick Pope could have done better for the first. Like, obviously, amazingly saved the penalty and pretty much saved the game.
I was going to say he saved the penalty. So,
but he could have done better for the first.
Well, the first Isaac was, you know, he's not in there for his defensive qualities, but once he was in the box, he was kind of watching it all unfold and not picking anybody up. And the defense as a whole was slow to react to that. Yeah. But we'll move onwards and upwards. It gives us an extra point. It means that we still need another 6 points to make it sure, which brings us nicely on to our next opposition, who fucking just battered Arsenal at the weekend 3-0.
They did batter Arsenal. I was watching it. And yeah, was that before or after the Liverpool game? I think it was before, wasn't it? Before Liverpool played Leicester. Obviously, I watch all the matches anyway, but yeah, they took apart Arsenal. Like,
they battered them, and it's well, I mean, they're starting to become a bit of a team now. You don't know what you're going to get towards the end of the season. I mean, they got that drubbing 5-1 off Everton. And nobody saw that coming. I mean, let's have a little look at their form now. I can't put it on the screen because I'm not as technically minded
savvy.
as you. Yeah.
Right.
So let's have a look. I can't even find it on the website. So we're
In
not
the
going to look at the
meantime,
last game.
look, there's a little doggy.
I didn't know what you were showing us there. I didn't know what you were
Vinny,
showing us.
he knows I'm poorly, so he comes and lies next to us. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yes, he's a good boy.
Yeah, so their form is from the last 5 games, they've won 3 and they've lost 2. So going
Who was the other
in
loss against?
against Nottingham Forest, the loss
That's right.
3-1
That's right.
at home as well. The 2 losses have came at home. So 3-1 against Notts Forest, 5-1 against Everton. Mixed in there's some nice results. So there's a 6-0 against Wolves, 1-0 against Man U, which is no easy feat, and a 3-0 against Arsenal. So it goes back to my original point. They seem to, towards the end of the season, seem to be a little bit of a mixed bag. Which one are you going to get? Let's hopefully we get the Brighton that turned out against Everton and Notts Forest.
Yeah.
For ourselves, the last form guide, again, it's 3 wins out of 5 with a loss and a draw in there. So, yeah, we all know there was a 6-1 at Spurs, 4-1 at Everton, 3-1 at Southampton. Since then, we've taken our finger off the pulse a little bit. We haven't bottled it.
No.
We haven't bottled it. It's not bottled yet. But a 2-0 against Arsenal and a 2-2 against Leeds. So, similar type of form coming into the game. Having similar-ish types of seasons in terms of overachieving.
Yeah, definitely.
Where do you think this game's going to be won and lost, and how?
Unfortunately, midfield. And have you watched the presser? I watched the presser. Longstaff's not going to be back. And Murphy's still a doubt. That's the only 2.
Murphy's what?
A doubt.
Murphy's a doubt. Is this one of the Eddie Howe doubts that he likes to put in?
No, I don't think
It's
so.
a genuine one.
I think it's a genuine one from the groin strain thing that he had the other day. I think it's genuine. It says a doubt. So I very much doubt he'll start. He may be on the bench, but I don't think he'll start.
Well, you see, you probably are right. It probably is won and lost in midfield, but I think more than that, it could be won and lost in our attack and their defence, and more specifically, who we choose to start in attack.
Yeah.
I look at their team, and one player in particular I look at for their centre back is Dunk. Now, Dunk, for me, whenever I've seen him play, he likes playing against the type of player like a Callum Wilson, somebody muscular, someone you're going to have a bit of a battle with, someone you're going to get in amongst it. That's the way he likes to play. What he doesn't like is a bit of pace. He's not too fond of a bit of pace and players running at him specifically. Now, I think for me, this has to be a starting lineup where we have Isaac in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. And I know people thought it's a shame to drop Wilson because of his form, but the last game, both goals were penalties. Do you know what I mean? So I like having Wilson come off the bench if we are needing something, especially at home, especially this game with what's riding on it. It would really lift the crowd. But I think he will start them both again together. I think he will. I think that's the way he wants to line up at the minute. But I
don't think he will. Well, I mean, we're going to make this a bit more of a snappier video, so may as well talk about starting lineups. We'll start with Brighton. And then we'll move on to Newcastle because that's probably got more meat on the bone.
Obviously, Brighton. We know the threats in Matoma. I think Gross is still injured. McAllister. Even in defence, they've got defenders who can score. Like Estefanian, he's great. I had him in my dream team this week. He got a massive haul.
Yeah, I mean, they're just fine players, don't they?
It's weird how they're fine players. That young lad, Ferguson, looks looks like he's going to be a great forward. Like,
yeah, I mean, I look at their starting lineup in the last game. So you've got Lewis Dunk. We've already talked about him. We know what type of game he likes. You've got Levi Colwill, Moises Caicedo, and
Caicedo, amazing, yeah, great player.
Caicedo, Estupinan. Like, where's he came from?
I know.
I mean, Yeah, I'm just going to go off to Ecuador and find myself a couple of defenders.
Yeah, I know.
How did they do it?
Yeah.
Midfield, I had Alexis McAllister. We all know what he can do.
World class player. Liverpool after him apparently for 70 million.
Liverpool, yeah, I think you'll probably see him go there as well. Pascal Gross, class player.
Yeah,
That Julio Enciso, he
looks
plays
great.
Paraguayan, yeah, looks
Yeah,
good as well. Matoma, we all know what kind of season he's having.
yeah,
And Billy Gilmore, the Scottish international, with, like you
yeah.
say, Evan Ferguson up front. They even brought on Danny Welbeck, who's been having a
Who's
good
having a
season.
really good season for
He's having a good.
someone who was like the people were saying was going to be another Sturridge, that his career was over. Brighton have just seemed to have got the best out of him and
They have, and they're an attacking
reignited him.
team. They're
Yeah,
an attacking team, and that's an attacking lineup that they went for against Arsenal. They really sort of did go for it. Now it can go one of two ways. Now, when I look at it and when I see defensive teams that we've came up against and we've struggled, I think back to Bournemouth, I think back to Crystal Palace, Leeds United. The first time we played them, when they set up rather defensively against us at St James's Park, we do seem to struggle to break them down a bit. I don't think that will be the case on Thursday evening. I think Brighton are definitely going to come with an attacking thought process. They're not going to
yeah,
sit and put men behind the ball. I think that could work in our favour in where they give us a little bit more space to work in, especially in the final third,
yeah,
because there was times against Leeds United at the weekend where the box was just packed. It was just packed, and you thought there's just no getting through that.
yeah.
This could be a bit of a different story. However, the flip side of that is that it could leave us a little bit more vulnerable at the back as well with that kind of attack. What's your thoughts?
Their passing against Arsenal was unreal. The way they kept possession, the way they whizzed it around. I'll keep talking while you're having some sneezing attack there. Yeah, they looked like an elite team against Arsenal. They looked world class. The way they were, and the play, even that play off the ball was great. What's he called? The manager. He's done a fantastic job. I always forget his bloody name.
His name is. I
Oh,
forgot his name as well. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Yeah, it's all right. I must be getting a side effect of your drugs.
Yeah,
But anyways, yeah, we all know who you mean. Yeah, he's well. When Harry Potter left Brighton,
yeah.
and everybody thought, oh well, that's it. That the sort of the main linchpin that's keeping us all together is gone. And
I
we're going to
did.
see them drop off.
I
They've got
thought that.
better.
I know.
They've got better.
I
They've
know.
actually getting better.
Madness.
And Harry Potter couldn't work any magic at Chelsea, so it seems as though it was a bit of a blessing in disguise when he went.
Yeah.
So just before we move on to the Newcastle lineups, out of some of the
Mhm.
players you've mentioned there, now, and Brighton have got a habit of doing this. Are they going to do it again in the summer? Are these? Is it going to be a
Yeah,
mass exodus from Brighton again?
I think so.
Do you?
I think so. But I think they'll have the players, or like they must have some secret stash. I don't know how they do it, but I think they'll be all right. But there will be. I don't know about a mass exodus because this time round they're going to more than likely have European football to offer, and they're a good team to play for. And yeah, what like for some of the other players who are like worshipped there already, like Matoma and that. Why would you leave? Where would you go? There's only
I
a
mean,
few teams
for me,
higher up.
I think there's three that kind of stick out for me that might look to
McAllister will be
pass
off.
as greener. Yeah, that's one of them. Matoma, I think
Matoma. Mhm.
you might see a bit of a Todd Bowley. Oh, he's had a half a good season. Let's play 60 million
Yeah, I think
for
so.
a player. And Moises Caicedo.
Yeah, Caicedo. Yeah,
I would like to
or
see. I'd like to see him come to us. Him.
I'd like to see him come to us as well. Um, that would be one of my picks. That would be to get Caicedo. Apparently Arsenal are after him, but yeah, our depth and quality midfield isn't great, as has been shown. But like, let's move on. How do you think we can go about addressing this Longstaff situation? And some people still think, no, it's not Longstaff that's holding it together. It's not because of that. It's because of a drop in form. And yeah, there has been a little drop in form from some players. Bruno looks like he is still carrying
100% is.
injury.
I don't even think that they're hiding the fact that he's carrying an injury now. I think it's like the cat's out the bag, so to speak. With I've been saying it for weeks and weeks because he hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right. We do miss Longstaff, and how do we get around it? Well, plain and simply, we need to find somebody else who's equally as good or better in the summer at playing that position. And there's
No, but
one
I mean, now for
for
these
now.
3 matches, what do we do?
You do what we did and what we can do. The only thing we can do, you stick with Bruno, Joe Linton, and Willock in the middle. That's what else can you do? There's nothing else you can do. I don't think Joe Linton suits the more defensive role. I think he's better going forward and a bit more attacking. It should really be Bruno that's dropping a bit deeper. I think we saw that more from Joe Linton in the Leeds United game. But it's gonna be a struggle between now and the end of the season without having him there, because like we've all just sort of discovered over the last couple of games, we're missing when he's not there, and he is the glue that seems to hold it all together and allows the freedom of the other players while he puts in the graft and does the dirty work that nobody else notices. And what the thing is, when you haven't got him there, one of the other players has to do that. Suddenly the whole dynamics changed. You've got a player, let's say it's Joe Linton, that's sitting back and trying to do those bits and pieces. All of a sudden he's not playing the role that he normally plays, and then somebody else is having to go into that position that he knows, and it just knocks everything out of kilter. So I think it's just a case of trying to almost, if we're changing the system, maybe change the way we're playing a little bit. And I think the way to do that is by putting Isaac in the middle. I just think that's the best answer to that. But come the summer, I mean, there's one person that tops my wish list, and it's going to cost a lot of money, but I think we can get him, and that is Declan Rice, because he is the perfect person to go into that position. He could take Longstaff's place because he's a better player than Longstaff. I love Sean Longstaff, and I'd love to see the competition for that place. But that would be the top of my number one target would be Declan Rice. We all know he's going, and there's going to be a few clubs in for him. But I think we could, if we get in the top 4, we could probably persuade him to come.
Yeah, I think we could persuade him to come. It's just whether West Ham's valuation of 130 million will come down.
So I heard somebody talking. What was it on Talk Sport the other day? And they were like, valuations are only certain amounts when there's more than one club interested. If you've only got one club interested in a player, then they can kind of dictate the valuation to a certain point where you feel like you have to drop. But when you've got 2, 3 or 4 clubs interested in the player, then the valuation probably won't drop, because you'll probably get a little bit of a bidding war, and then you're laughing then. And I think that would be the case with Declan Rice. I think there's probably a number of suitors, probably home and away, abroad as well. There'll be other teams that would be looking at him and saying, yeah, he would be a good signing. So the money's going to be it's going to be a difficult one. But if we're getting the Champions League, that extra 100 and something million, just have a little bit of a dip your toe in the water of the big boy market. You know what I mean?
I think though they definitely will. There's talk today I've seen. Maybe he's also signing João Felix. That's been the main talk today.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't knock them back, but I think there's other areas we need to strengthen first.
Yeah, I do.
So let's move on to our predicted lineups, because there's probably there's probably 2 areas, stroke 3 areas that are debatable. So I'm surmising the back 5 unchanged.
Yeah.
along with Joe Linton, Willock, and Bruno.
Yeah.
We've got Bruno in the middle.
Yeah.
Then we move on. Let's move on to the left-hand side first. Who do you start?
I would start. I would start Maxi and Miggy on either side. So
Right.
I'd start with Isaac in the middle, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be the same lineup that started against Leeds.
Do you?
I do.
I don't. There
I
you
hope
go. I
not.
don't. I
I hope
don't.
not.
I don't. I think that's going to be the lineup, what you've just said there. I
Yeah.
think Almiron, given that news I didn't know before about Murphy, because I originally had penciled Murphy for that position.
Yeah.
I thought he'd probably start ahead of Almiron. And then Maxi, I think it's got to be Maxi that starts, because that impact, we didn't have that much impact off the bench against Leeds. But then all of a sudden, if you're looking at Anthony Gordon and Callum Wilson coming on, it's 65, 70 minutes in, 60 minutes in, whatever it may be.
Yeah, even if Murphy's not fit to start the full game, if Murphy's coming off the bench, Murphy, Gordon, Wilson, do you know what I mean? That's canny. So yeah, that's the lineup I'd like to see.
That's the lineup you like to see. I mean, yeah, that's one I would like to see as well. And I feel bad on Callum Wilson, because he's the top goal scorer this season.
I know.
He's scored more goals cup and in league
Than anyone in Europe.
Well, no, not anyone in Europe.
No, in the last month. Yeah.
Oh, in the last month. No, I'm talking about over the season.
Oh, I know.
The last person to score the amount of goals he scored was Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer, I know. Aye. Yeah, no, Callum Wilson's the top goal scorer.
He's outstruck Patrick Cisse, and we're sitting here talking that he shouldn't be started. That just goes to show what kind of impact Alexander Isak has on a game. He's
I know.
You can't leave him out. You can't leave him out, and I don't like him on the left hand side. He's good on the left hand side, but he's just so much more effective in the middle.
Yeah, I think Maxi and Isak would have seen glimmers of the way they link up together. And I just don't think Brighton's defence would like that one bit. I think that is the way to get a Brighton is an early start. One thing we can't afford to do, though, is concede an early goal. But I do think it's crucial that we'll have an early start. And I think we will push for it, because the noise on Thursday, tomorrow, it's going to be like out of this world. I think I've made the thumbnail for this before as poorly, and it's something like the crowd must go Aka, and yeah, and I'm going to try my best to be there, even if you have to carry us, you and guys carry us up the stairs with me piss bag attached. So yeah, if anyone wants to have a drink with me piss bag, come over and see us at the Leazer's Bar. If they want to have a little, I'll down a pint while they drink it straight from the piss bag.
Oh no, it looks like tropical fun there.
Yeah.
So yeah, before we move on to score, I feel like the last game as well that they're just trying to accommodate Wilson and Isaac, because he knows neither one deserves to be dropped.
Exactly, that's the problem.
It's getting a stage though where we're putting square pegs into round holes when we don't have to. We're putting Isaac on the left hand side, and in a lot of the game he was drifting along on the right hand side. He was coming into the middle, but it meant we didn't have that same attacking impetus down the left hand side. We're now in a position where we can play players in position, and I think that's what we need to do, especially against a team like Brighton, and hopefully that'll be his thought process as well. So,
well, the only thing I'd say when it comes to Miggy is how predictable Miggy is at cutting in. And if Brighton are prepared for that, then we could have real issues of getting those attacking chances down that side. So it would be nice if Murphy is available, because Eddie Howe just said he's a doubt. He didn't say so.
Yeah, hopefully it's one of his little illusions that he sometimes.
I'd much rather have Murphy starting.
So do I, and I never thought I'd be saying that at the beginning of the season.
No.
So let's have score lines. So, what are you thinking?
I'm going to say there is going to be goals aplenty. And I'm going to go with a thrilling 4-3 victory, though.
I don't know. You hard to take that.
No, I know, but there is going to be goals.
Yeah, I
At
think there
both
is going to be
ends.
goals as well. Just do I have to go with what I'm really thinking and
Go whatever
feeling?
you want. Go whatever you
Or,
want, Kevin.
or I'm gonna do what Dan did. I've got my
Heart in the
dog
head.
crawling on the floor here.
It's
What
like
are you
a
doing?
Lana.
Yeah, crawling on the floor.
Get to bed.
My head says 2-2. My head says 2-2. My heart says 2-1
To them or us.
to us. No, what my heart doesn't say 2-1 to them. Yeah, I think I've got a horrible feeling it might be a draw. Two teams that are equally in good form, playing good football. But that could just be the nerves. That could be the nerves as well. I get nervous before every game, especially at this part of the season when
Well,
there's so much riding on it.
what I want to say is, I know everyone's going to be calling this make or break, but it's not. It's not make or break. Even if we lose to Brighton, right, we win our next two, regardless of anyone else's results. We've got Champions League football. Now, I see nothing other than an absolute pummeling of Leicester for our final home game of the season, where obviously the players know it's a chance they're going to get a lap of honour, even though they do it every match, but they're going to get a proper good lap of honour. I see nothing but absolutely Leicester are awful. Leicester are fucking awful.
I know you're saying this side, but like if let's say, I mean, touch wood, this doesn't happen, and I don't perceive we're getting beat. But let's say we did get beat. What does that do? What does that do cognitively? Like, turn into a sports psychologist here. But does that not do something? And it's an age-old saying: 90% of the games played up here. But
not against Leicester.
Does that not really?
Not
dare I
against
say it,
Leicester.
put those bottling thoughts in there?
Nah, not against Leicester. Definitely not. The other one is Chelsea, but I literally don't think Chelsea would have enough to beat with. Even at Stamford Bridge, I don't think they'll have enough. So I am still, I would say I'm 80% confident that we're going to get Champions League. It would be nice to do it in these next two home games, or wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. I want to be there. I want to be there on Monday night. I want to be there on Monday night.
Yeah,
where
it's
breathe it in.
Yeah.
Breathe it in. Have a bevy afterwards, and have that little sort of celebration, and go into the Chelsea game like without any sleepless nights beforehand, and out any kind of anxiety, and just to be able to enjoy it. But more than anything else, I think the fans really deserve to have that moment with the players where they go, "We've done it. We've done it. We've absolutely done it." But
might be a little consolation for Wembley.
With Newcastle United,
I know we don't like the pressure.
This is with Newcastle United. How much disappointment have we felt over the years, Simon?
Oh, loads.
And as every Newcastle fan has. But I'm going to keep positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and if I had to put me money on it, I'm going to go with me heart decision, the 2-1.
Right.
It all sets up to Leicester on Monday, when Newcastle United can then possibly clinch a place in the top 4 and a place in the Champions League.
Oh,
the champion.
Oh, it would be lovely.
Sorted out for the for when it happens, not if it happens.
Yeah.
So
we'll be back Friday, and then we'll probably be back Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday, aye.
Saturday or Sunday.
So we'll have a review of the game against Brighton and Hove Albion on Friday, and
I might even do a little vlog tomorrow if I am going, just to show how much you're going to have to help us get around. If I do go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tomorrow or not. But
we'll
I'm
get
gonna
people
try
to clap for you, like that, like you were the NHS in lockdown.
yeah.
NHS in lockdown.
Yeah, if everyone
Well,
clap on the 43rd minute, 'cause I'm 43.
yeah.
It's a little
Everybody can clap.
clap for size piss bag.
Hashtag piss bags.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you've liked the video, even if you haven't, hit the like button anyways. It does us a favor. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It really is important for us to get ourselves out and seen by other like-minded fans, not only of this club, of other clubs as well. The more, the merrier. Leave a comment what you think that the score's going to be and the correct scorers. We didn't give our scorers, did we?
No, we didn't.
Go on then.
I'm gonna go. It's Isaac, Wilson, Joel Linton, and Willock.
I'm going to go for Isaac, and I'm going to go for Joel Linton. 2-1. So yeah, put your scorers, put your scoreline in there. The winner gets a cup of piss from Size Bag, and
or you can drink it fresh from the bag, whatever you want.
From the bag, guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a straw thing on it.
Yeah, it has long nozzle.
Aye. Or you can have a different gift. You don't have to have the piss. But thank you very much, Simon, for coming on, even though he is close to death's door.
Yeah. And dedication. So you have to subscribe. Now, Kev, remember, before you say bye, well, no, just after you said bye, and she said, come on, press end recording. Okay?
Nice. Okay.
Right. We'll see you on Friday, everyone.
See you later. Come on.
End record.